This is the Game Corner Podcast, episode 44, and we got some stuff to talk about. Going to be talking about the Xbox One showcase, or rather the Xbox overall showcase from last week. Going to be talking about what am I? I'm not dropping any frames. This thing's telling me I'm dropping frames. I'm not dropping any frames. Sorry about that. This thing's over telling me I'm dropping frames. I ain't dropping shit. What was I saying? Xbox Showcase. We're talking about that. We're going to talk about the Nintendo data breach that has been going on for the past about week now. We're going to talk about El Is Real. And we're going to talk about some other stuff. So I'm going to bring in Casey as well in a moment. And we'll get things underway. What's up, Juan? Thanks for showing up. Hey, Jay Moon, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Let me get Is this thing work? This is working, right? Can you guys hear me? Let me make sure I actually am being heard right now. I think I'm being heard. I got to go to my settings. Oops, I want that. What are my settings? Don't know why my mic isn't working. Audio. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Can you guys hear me now? I think you can hear me now. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Don't know what's wrong with my mic. That's not good. Hello, hello, hello. Why do I sound so low? I usually don't sound that low. Whoop, that's muting the mic. I don't want to do that. Edit. Well, at least you guys can hear me, so that's a positive. I don't know why my mic sounds this low. It's usually louder than this. I don't know what the problem is. This is display audio. I want this to be maxed out as well. Okay. Yeah, that's very strange. All right, well, let me call in Casey, and then we're going to get things underway. You can hear me, right? Okay. All right. Don't bring him in. Don't bring him in yet. Bring him in like a couple of minutes. All right. So Casey, I got you here now. For whatever reason, my microphone was being retarded.
Well, he said that he'd go mute.
Yeah. I mean, if you could bring him in, just have him muted, and I'll introduce him. You know, kind of
Okay.
like how Drew does when He brings
Yeah.
people on, and then he can unmute.
Yeah.
But Casey, got some stuff here. We're going to talk about the Xbox showcase from last week.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about why you're not showing up on screen. That's what we're going to talk about.
Hold on, let me try again.
No, you're on screen, but you're not visible on my. You're not visible on my thing there, on my screen.
Are we live right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Screen share.
Huh. Oh.
On my screen.
Are we live right now?
Yeah. So I'm trying to get it so that I could get you on the fucking screen.
Not a big deal.
Skype.
Let me try this real quick.
I got you on screen, but I don't know why it's not working. This is being a pain in the ass.
Fuck it. We don't need to put me on there.
If I can get it working, I'll figure it out. I'll fuck with it throughout the show. But Casey, we're going to talk about the Xbox showcase. We're going to talk about the Nintendo data breach that's been going on for the past week.
No shit.
I don't know if you've heard about that.
No.
We're going to be talking about that. I have the PlayStation Plus games lineup for next month, so we'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about some other stuff. I got another list based off of your suggestion from last time we podcasted. There was another list idea you sent me, so we're gonna run with it.
Oh, I'm kind of. I don't remember, so I got a bad memory, so it'll be a surprise for me as well now.
Yes, it will. So yeah, we're gonna start. Talking about stuff. You got somebody you brought onto the call, correct?
Yeah, we got Kev.
The Jersey guy.
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up?
What's going on, brother?
What? Not much here and here. Just avoiding the heat wave.
Yeah, I understand that one.
It's a cool 98 degrees outside.
It's a cool. Hold on a second. It's a cool 102 here.
Oh my god.
So
it actually cooled down in my area, but because it just stormed.
So you heard what I just mentioned. We're going to go over today. Kev, have you by any chance checked out the Xbox showcase from last Thursday?
Not so much, but I'm very excited about the new Xbox coming out.
So they didn't really show much that I was really interested in.
I saw the Halo gameplay, and that's about really it. But that looked good.
That was the first thing they showed. Then they showed. They teased the new Forza game after that, which they said they are working on. They didn't show much. They only showed in engine stuff. They said it's early in development, so we're not going to get a Forza game this year, which kind of surprises me in a way. Then again, with the new consoles, maybe not. I thought at least we would have gotten one, either Forza Motorsport 8 or Horizon 5 as a launch title for the new console. They showed. Now, I'm not going to mention everything here because I don't remember everything they showed, but they showed a game called Tell Me Why, which looked interesting. Not exactly my cup of tea. But, I thought it was pretty good from what it was. They showed a new big game by Obsidian, new RPG called Avowed. They didn't show much of that. All they really showed there was a bunch of flaming arrows being launched into the sky. and then they panned the camera all the way down from the sky to the ground. We've seen what I presume will be the main character for the game, and then they showed the game's title, and that was it.
The only two big ones I cared that I saw, obviously Halo Infinite,
Yeah, that
and
was the first thing. I thought that looked pretty decent. What do you,
well, a lot of people was dogging it. I mean, one, you gotta remember, we're still months away, so they can still tinker around with this. Two, uh, YouTube was one. It was the whole thing was lagging like like hell, and three, I mean, they're only showing this at 1080p. It's not even showing at 4K at all, or even higher. So people are
well,
dogging it big time.
I mean, yeah, some of the stuff they definitely weren't showing at their highest quality because it's also a lot of stuff they were showing isn't exactly ready yet either. So,
Yeah.
um, then they showed the last thing they showed. Like I said, I don't remember everything, so I'm just gonna skip to the end. The last thing they showed was the new Fable game, which is
Is there?
a big series that everyone thought was dead for a while and is now
Well,
back.
is there a remake?
No,
Because
it's a reboot.
well, oh,
The,
so that's pretty much a remake if it's a reboot.
yeah, it's like they're kind of like what they did with Mortal Kombat 9, how they rebooted the story. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what they're doing with this one. Because the last game they made, which was Fable Legends,
Mm.
people didn't like that game so much.
You know, I know I feel horrible, but I never played them. But my late wife actually enjoyed Fable, so like if it's a reboot, maybe I'll give this one a try and see how I like it. I mean, I do. I'm not 100% sure if I have Fable. If I'm not, I'm shocked. It doesn't look like it, but
I didn't see it in your videos you made, so I would probably say no.
yeah, I don't see it. But that's that's the second game I'm interested to see is Fable.
So they showed, they showed some interesting stuff. We still did not get a release date for the console. They also showed the next Destiny 2 expansion called Beyond Light. That is coming out on November 10th, 2020, for anyone who cares, who still plays Destiny. Um,
I know a couple people who still, I believe they still care about Destiny 2.
Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts 2 was shown as well. Being made by one of the Xbox game studios. So I'm curious if that's going to be a console exclusive, like
Probably.
Xbox and PC exclusive.
Probably.
Don't mind me screwing around. I was just trying to get the thing working. So you see a bunch of black on the screen. I was trying to get Casey's camera on the screen. It worked perfectly last time. I don't know what the problem is today. Jay Moon says Avowed looks interesting. From what they showed, it's kind of hard to say.
Uh-oh.
Juan says he's doing good. What's up, Juan? And they showed an expansion for the Outer Worlds, which comes out August 9th. They showed another game called Grounded, which is I guess like a survival horror game. Like your character is gonna be like shrunken down to like the smallest thing, and you're gonna be fighting off like bugs, like big bugs, spiders, giant ants, stuff like that. I didn't care too much about that. They gave away Watch Dogs 2. Actually, that was at Ubisoft Forward. That should still, I think that's still free. If you have a UPlay account on PC, I think you can still get Watch Dogs 2 for free. Um,
That's,
did we lose Kev?
yeah. It looks like it. I don't know what happened, but
Uh,
uh,
I mean, if he comes back, he's more than welcome to rejoin the call.
exactly.
Um, so yes, that's pretty much it on the Xbox stuff. I do have some other news here. I'll let you pick what we talk about next. How about that? I'll give you what I got, and we'll go with that. So I got the PlayStation Plus August lineup for the free games. I got
Mm.
the information on the Nintendo data breach and something really big I wanted to actually talk about that includes that. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie 2 release date, premiere date confirmed, and the G4TV teaser that was done over the weekend.
Oh, here, let me throw one at you. Uh, let's kind of talk about what's. Did you watch that Nintendo Direct Mini?
Yes, I did. I didn't pull that up only because I do have the stuff pretty
Well,
much memorized. It was 8 minutes 14 seconds long to be exact.
yeah, and one of my favorite ones they said they were gonna do was the DLC for Cadence of Hyrule. That's really fun
Yeah,
game.
they're adding. I think it's 39 new songs if I'm not mistaken. A Skull Kid story expansion and a few other things. So the leak about that was not wrong.
No, it wasn't wrong with the date, but other people saying about the Mario thing, I was honestly, if you ask me, I wish they didn't do it. I wish this was just a failed. Wish they just moved on and not even did this one.
Yeah.
Because
Well, this one
after that,
this one was a third party showcase. And they said
mm,
they're going to do more of these, so we're going to see more of these throughout the rest of the year. There's got to be one big direct. There's got to be one at least this year. We haven't gotten a big Nintendo direct yet this year.
almost a full year.
They showed WWE superstars playing WWE 2K Battlegrounds.
And
Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Asuka, The Miz, I think, was playing. Um,
I
Cesaro
think
was
that
playing it.
I think I was. Oh, they're actual playing. I was thinking about as the characters for a
No, they
second.
they actually showed them playing like a demo beta of it.
Yeah,
So then they showed Shin Megami Tensei 3 is getting an HD remaster for the Switch.
and
Uh,
then the fifth one coming out.
yeah, and then after that, the fifth one was confirmed, the newest one in the series. Um,
That's that's
those will
something.
both come out in 2021.
Those I'm not interested at all.
I never played Shin Megami Tensei, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little interested. I wouldn't mind trying them out, like going back and seeing the games and stuff. Uh,
Hey, if it
see if
tickles your fancy, I mean that's you. To me, I'm like, I never got into that series at all.
I don't play too many anime games, but the ones I play, why is this telling me to select? I don't want to select the game. Fuck off. This thing's telling me to select a game to capture. I'm not playing a game right now. Leave me alone. So that was the direct mini. A lot of fans weren't happy about it. Some
And I was one of them.
I really didn't care one way or the other because I honestly wasn't expecting anything. Oh shit! Dropped my phone. Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything one way or the other. I had no
I guess
expectations, so I wasn't disappointed.
I guess I was praying for the moon for those those Mario games. I was just waiting for that to happen, and it broke my heart.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Um, Hopefully, we get that eventually. Um,
At
then
least
we,
put it.
we had
At
a few
least,
people, a few YouTubers were making videos complaining about how the Nintendo fans are like, did we make no sense? Because I mean, I get it. People will want something, you finally get it, and then some of them complain about it.
mm,
But those are the people that had their hopes up for something and didn't get what they were hoping for. So
I'm I'm negotiable. How like the first game, like I said in that direct, I was happy because I love that game, and I highly suggest anyone who has a Switch at least play the demo. You'll like when I first played the demo, I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. So the DLC is definitely, to me, it feels worth it.
Jay Moon
But
says he's super excited for the Shimigami Tensei coming back. So something for you
well,
to look forward to next year. 2 games.
I mean, I'm sure but some people were happy with that. I'm not gonna shit on them. I'm like, if they're happy about that, hey, you know, good for them. Like I said, I found one thing I was happy about it, but the other ones are like, WWE 2K thing, and
So let's get off the topic of Nintendo for a moment. We will get back to them. Let's go over the August PlayStation Plus free games here. So we have 2 games, of course, because they no longer give PS3 and Vita games. They haven't for like over a year now. I still think they should at least give 3 games, at least meet in the middle, since they used to give 6,
mm,
and now they only give 2.
yeah, but they've also been putting some bigger titles free as well. So I mean,
Well, this month, not this month, beginning August 4th, 2020, PlayStation Plus will be giving the Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout for free. It's a competitive and cooperative game where you attempt to get through challenges and obstacle courses. Up to 60 people can play online at one time. And again, August 4th. Otherwise, the game costs $20. So I wouldn't say that's a big game, but it sounds interesting. I have heard of it. I like
I
I
never.
like obstacle course games.
Hmm, what's the next one?
The other one is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the remastered campaign.
Hmm, if I still have PlayStation Plus, I'll probably get that one. Why not?
The campaign mode is a remaster of the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, which released years ago. You go through the story. It also comes with the Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone compatible underwater underwater demo Team Classic Ghost Bundle. The game launched in March 2020 for $20, which will now be free.
It's not the worst. I think I've seen worse.
I am
But
not particularly into anything that they're serving up. Uh, Felt that way for a little bit over recent times. Honestly, I really haven't downloaded many. I haven't downloaded many PS Plus games in recent
I mean,
months, to be honest.
I picked up the World War II game. I actually have it on I guess when I purchased it, but I don't have it downloaded yet because I guess the file's so big or something. I have it on hold.
So, real quick, let's go over the. Have you first before I even say this? Have you seen the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, Casey?
No, I do want to. I was actually thinking about if I don't watch Monday Night Raw, I'm kind of thinking about throwing $3 down and watch it.
Honestly, the Sonic movie, even regardless of what you think of it, will probably be a better investment of your time tonight.
Oh yeah,
Especially if it's only $3, man. You can't beat that. Actually, I have a digital code that I don't
yeah.
need. I could probably just give you that, and you can watch it for free on your computer, or
Oh,
however
that's
you want to watch it on
that.
your. I know it's a PC. You know, digital code is usually for like PC.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a laptop, or if you can watch it on your phone, you can watch it for free that way. As I have the Ultra 4K Blu-ray and I have the regular Blu-ray, and it came with the digital code. I'm not going to use the digital code. What do I need it for? So I could give you that, and you could watch it later tonight or tomorrow or whatever. But
That sounds cool. Thank you.
let me pretend that I'm Frank for a couple of minutes.
Oh no.
We went over a movie news last time, and Frank from The Harsh Truth, also co-host on the Derailed podcast every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. He goes over entertainment and movie news. So this is kind of his area that we're going into for a moment. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie, release date confirmed for April 8th, 2022.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Currently, there is no information on returning actors, what the story will be, where the movie is being shot. However, there is I don't even remember this image here might actually be from the first movie, so I'm not even going to bring it up. The first movie, which released in the United States, February 2020, released on Valentine's Day. I went to see it night one. Broke records, even beating out Pokemon's Detective Pikachu in the box office, breaking records for making the most money for a video game related movie.
Well, it doesn't shock me. I mean, well, put Pikachu. I, I mean, it looked kind of funny, but like it really just caters to those people who likes Pokemon. And then the Super Mario movie, it has a cult following, but it's not that good. And I think a lot of people knew or read reviews, and it was bad.
We do know Jeff Fowler, the director, and script writers Pat Casey and Josh Miller are expected to return to work on this next movie. However, like I said, none of the actors, the actor who played Sonic, the actor, I don't know if Donut Lord, as you'll come to know, Ben
Mm.
Schwartz, that's who played Sonic. We don't know if any of them or Drew Carey, who played Robotnik. We don't know right now if any of them are going to return. I hope they do. I like Drew Carey in that movie. I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Ben Schwartz, I thought he was a pretty good Sonic. Let me just tell you, Casey, if you go into the Sonic movie expecting it to be like the games, you're going to be a little disappointed. It's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those movies where you just shut your brain off and watch it.
I can do that because to me, as of that Ghostbuster 2016, I was like, I'm expecting this being super horrible, and I watched it. It was not bad if you watch it. If you just forget Ghostbuster ever existed.
What's up, TSS? Thanks for coming on in.
You might hear some noise. I got my dog's about to attack me. I'm gonna make a quick drink, real quick.
All right, go ahead. You're getting up from the table, right?
Yeah. So.
All right. If there's gonna be any background noise, I'll just mute you for a moment. Jay Moon, he says, I've heard Call of Duty games. Heard the Call of Duty game files are huge now, bro. Warzone, the free version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Warzone alone. The last I checked, it was a 108 gigabyte file. It was very big.
It's huge. I mean, that's the thing with the next system. I'm assuming because what happened with this current gen, um, that it'd be the exact same thing. We'll be playing off the hard drive, not off the disk.
Well, with
So,
the free version of Warzone only, it's only
yeah.
digital, so you have to download it.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about like in the like in the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. That it's going to be the exact same thing like this current gen. That all the games are running off the hard drive and not the disk.
Yeah, I don't exactly really know why they do it the way they do it, but like even with the physical games, they only put a certain amount of data on the disc, and then
Yeah,
you end up downloading the rest of it from the internet. Yeah, it is insane there, J Moon. So,
it's it's pretty much for people like me and you, where we actually preferred having the physical copy, while today's age is it's heading towards digital nowadays.
let me just see if I could watch. I just want to see if I could see this real quick. So
Have
the
a
next
good.
thing, so G4TV. Have you guys ever watched G4 TV at all? Like ever back in the day, like shows like X Play or Icons or Attack of the Show, Cinematech, stuff like that.
I kind of watched G4 a little bit, not a lot, but it shocks me it's coming back.
So G4 TV was once upon a time was a 24/7 gaming network. They had multiple TV shows. They had some review shows, like Judgment Day, which I thought was pretty cool. I used to watch that all the time. X Play with Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler, which was one of my favorite shows. Um, they had a show called Cinematech, which would just run like a 1 hour block of game trailers of either upcoming games or games that are currently out. Um, there was a show called Icons, which was like a documentary TV show, which went
Mm-hmm.
over gaming history. They had episodes on Tomb Raider, Sonic the Hedgehog, Nintendo, Donkey Kong, stuff like that. They had a show called Arena, which was esports before esports got really popular. Which back in the day, I usually actually loved to watch Arena. They played games like Quake, Unreal Tournament, Halo, mostly team-based shooters.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I loved watching that back in the day, but today I hate esports. I can't stand it. And that's not a knock to anyone who loves esports. I know to each their own. But
Yeah.
I just can't sit down and watch stuff like that anymore like I used to.
The only one I think I ever watched, I'm in big time into Fortnite. I only watched one Fortnite tournament. It's okay. I can understand why people like it, but uh, like you say, I just can't get into it. And like I'm just not gonna sit down and watch someone play a bunch of games while I want to play it. I mean, like,
I used to do it. I can't do it anymore. Like I can't
yeah.
stand it now. I don't know if it's the way maybe esports is run, the kinds of people who play in them, like the way it's organized and stuff. But like back then on G4, they made it look fun. And nowadays, I don't know. I just don't get that vibe anymore.
Well, the only thing I kind of liked was back, I think it was 2015 and 2017, when Nintendo did the Nintendo World Championship. And
That was during E3.
yeah, and that was the coolest one that I enjoyed.
TSS says his favorite G4 show was X-Play. Good man, good man. Jay Moon says he also can't get into esports. Like I said, to each their own. My opinion isn't a knock on anyone.
Oh no, not at all.
G4TV, G4TV has teased a comeback. I can't show the trailer for copyright reasons. I don't want the copyright monster coming after me. I'm not one of those people who can beat it with a stick like a lot of other people can. But,
I wonder how.
I watched the trailer. They didn't really show much. A lot of video game references, like NES controllers on a table, playing Pong on a TV, on like a 1970s, 1980s style TV. And then on the TV screen, it flashed something saying incoming transmission. And then it said G4TV. Then it said 2021. Stuff like that. So it seems like they're making a comeback.
That's cool.
So I have a little bit of G4 history here, just to wrap this up. G4TV originally launched in April 2002 as a paid TV network in the United States, based in Los Angeles, California. It started out as a network similar to Tech TV, which is where some of those shows actually started. Like X-Play used to be called Extended Play before G4 was a thing. Obviously, Tech TV focused on everything tech, which did include video games, once in a while. G4 obviously was all about gaming. G4 had several shows like Arena, as I mentioned, X-Play, Attack of the Show, Cheaters, Icons, and Cheaters was pretty cool too, because that was a show that gave you a lot of cheat codes for a whole bunch of different games, and once in a while you might learn something you never knew about.
Well, when you said cheaters, I think I remember about an old TV show where someone would go hunt around and see if their spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend is cheating on each other.
You're right. You know what? You're right. That was called Cheaters. What I was talking about is just called Cheat, without the ERS at the end. And the reason I actually mixed the two up, not only because they have very similar names, but when G4TV, before they became the Esquire network, actually ran reruns of that show on their TV station. So
what Cheaters?
Yeah. So that's kind of why I mixed that shit up. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, cheat was what I was talking about. So over the weekend, on Friday, I believe it was, a new G4 trailer was posted on the internet, and you can now find it on YouTube. So you can look that up if you would like. And December 31st, 2014 was when G4 officially went out of business originally, when they became the Esquire network and continued to fail even harder. We have Morgan Webb tweeted. She says, "I'm just impressed someone remembered the password to the Twitter account."
Oh, God.
That's pretty funny. G4 made their own account, made their own post saying, "We never stopped playing," and they had the trailer post. So if you look up G4TV on Twitter, you could find the trailer there.
I'll have to check that out.
That's the easiest way to find it, at G4TV. So
I'm glad it's coming back.
I really hope it does, man. But a lot of people are saying, especially some of these YouTubers and Twitch streamers out there,
Mm.
They're saying that this could be suicidal for a TV network about gaming to try to
Oh,
compete with Twitch and YouTube.
you know what? I think it's not a bad idea. Right? There's not a lot on TV that talks about gaming at all. Yeah, you have esports. I is don't ESPN do some esports every once in a while, or am I wrong about
No,
that?
no, you're right. They host esports now on, I think it's ESPN2.
Yeah,
It's either ESPN2 or it's one of their other ones. There's like four different ESPN channels now. But
yeah.
yeah, they do host esports now. Not all the time, but you will find it.
But I'm like, there's something cool, there's a bunch of cool stuff on YouTube that I watch a lot. Like there's a channel. Well, it used to be a channel, but if you look up, it's called Play Value. It's
I've
like
heard of
a
that.
good, it's like a good 15-minute videos, and they talk about history of video games. And I every once in a while I go back and watch them because they're really entertaining.
See, the reason
Uh,
some people think that this could be a bad move and a
mm,
waste of money for them, because you got all these people with you know thousands of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, million subscribers, or more. That people watch all the time on YouTube. Game
mm.
reviewers, let's players, streamers, and G4, does host or did and probably will again host similar content.
If they would try to go some of the bigger ones, like, look, right now, Doctor Disrespect right now is not doing anything. I don't know what the hell Ninja's doing, and I know there's a couple bigger. There's some big guys out as well, but Doctor Disrespect and Ninja's the two biggest ones I know. That if they rope them in and they just say, hey, and just give them maybe an hour show each, have gameplay and stuff, and then let's say you bring something like you buy some of these YouTubers channels and post their content on there, and you obviously you have to get rid of the content on YouTube, but it'd be kind of cool. Like the you ever heard of the Game Chasers?
Yeah. So kind of like how Twitch and Mixer, when they were around, now Mixer is part of Facebook Gaming. Kind of like
Yeah,
how Mixer signed Ninja to only be on their platform. Doctor Disrespect had his contract for Twitch. So you're saying G4 should maybe compete and try to get some of those people to only broadcast on their network, is what you're saying.
exactly.
It's not a
I
bad
mean,
idea.
and then you put other things in, like you maybe like do some retro stuff, and then you put like something like the Game Chasers in there, and then Pat the NES Punk, and then try
And
to
the video game nerd.
exactly. I was about to shoot for the moon and get the angry video, the angry.
Speaking of him, I'm going to bring him up in a minute. But I want to finish off this G4 discussion a little bit. I think G4 can actually help E3 stay relevant and not go under for good. Because
Mm,
if you remember, every year in June, G4 showed all of the E3 good stuff. All of the developer and publisher interviews, and all of the press conferences and stuff like that. Then they
mm.
had what was called G4ia, which was their big video game rewards show every year. I think they should get in contact. Is that Jeff Keighley that does the video game awards every year?
I
The
believe so.
game awards.
Yeah, I believe
Maybe they
so.
should contact him and bring that onto G4 next year too, and give that a new home, because that
Do you? Yeah,
potentially
you know
reach
what?
more people than Twitch can.
Yeah, yeah. If you get him and the people who does the
Then they could
video
do
game,
all of the big gaming conventions like
yeah,
Gamescom, Tokyo Game Show, E3, and then instead of having these companies like Nintendo or
Mm,
PlayStation or Xbox when they do their showcases, instead of streaming them on Twitch, they could air them on G4TV and give people a reason to
that,
watch it.
exactly. That's a good idea. I like that. I mean, I'd rather go to like a channel like G4 than let's see what YouTube channel is like, and then you like yeah, I'll go to some of the bigger ones I know that I think they're funny or something, and then I'll watch it through, watch the presentation or Nintendo Direct or whatever through them. But if you have like a channel, it's just it streaming to that channel, I kind of would almost like that better.
Not only that, but broadcast TV is more likely to be is much more likely to have stable connections because you've seen Nintendo have issues with their live streams a few times here and there.
Oh,
Um,
Xbox was horrible.
The Xbox One actually, the Xbox One actually on Thursday had a few moments where the audio was cutting in and out of the stream, but
Dude,
the stream was still play, and then
it
the
was
audio had to catch up so that it wasn't
it
out of sync.
was it was so laggy. I mean, especially at the beginning, it was laggy. I was like, "What the heck?" It's like skipping frames and stuff.
Yeah, that's when we got like thousands and tens of thousands of people watching your
Yeah.
stream, and then it weighs down on your quality, and it's eventually weighs your shit down. A broadcast TV network doesn't have that problem most of the time.
Yeah. Well,
So
because they can handle millions of viewers. You know. I mean, that's what it's made for. It's for millions of people watching your stuff. Like if you like you say, if you go to a certain website or something, if everyone just crams right to that website, it's gonna crash it. So I I guess YouTube would do the exact same thing if millions just come and could crash YouTube.
yeah, I know what Peacock is. I have Comcast cable, so I have the Peacock app for free on my box. So TSS says they're going to do. He thinks they're going to do one of two things, or maybe both. He thinks that they'll make their own YouTube channel, hosting
Mm.
all of their old content along with new stuff, or they will be a part of the Peacock network, which is owned by NBC Universal.
Oh, okay. I was
I
wondering what you meant by that, but when you said NBC and
Because they
you
didn't necessarily say how they were coming back, just that they are going to come back. Maybe they are maybe they do make a YouTube and Twitch thing, and they stay strictly on the internet. That may be their best course of action because they'll probably have a more of a fighting chance that way.
mm,
Jay Moon says was kind of thinking they may convert to YouTube as well. So
I mean that's a good idea. I mean then to me, if they're gonna do that, you're kind of gonna get lost. I mean, look what happened to Mixer because people like have option, like they go to YouTube, they go to Twitch, and then like people and the Mixer's brand new, and then that thing didn't last that long before that shut down.
well, that's why TSS was saying they'll become a YouTube personality like PewDiePie, where they will just grow on YouTube and make a lot of money that way, and still be able to host the content they want to host, and rerun old stuff once in a while, do the new stuff. I think if they're because we don't know how much money they're going to have
Mm,
when they come back. So if they're going to try the TV network route again,
yeah,
we don't know how much they're going to charge or they're going to be charged to host their content. Who would want to pick them up? And if they're not picked up universally by most or all providers,
yeah,
then they're going to have a limited audience. Whereas on YouTube, or if they become their own internet entity, they can reach an unlimited audience if they stay on the internet and not go back to TV.
yeah. I was kind of hoping go back to the TV channel, but I could see that.
I mean, I would like to see it too. Not just for the nostalgia, but because I feel it's
Mm,
more convenient. Because what if your internet goes out, but you can still watch TV? You
yeah,
know.
exactly.
But yeah, I think TSS is right. They're probably going to just stay. They're probably just going to be an internet thing.
Yeah, I think that's probably more likely route.
I wish I had more visuals to put on the screen. I don't. I tried like 3 times during this stream to get your camera on, and I don't know why I can't get it on the screen. I'm looking at you right now, but I can't get it on the stream. And last time
why are
it
you
worked perfectly.
watching me? Why are you watching me, you pervert? Oh, it's not a big. I think it's fine. I mean, shoot. I love Junebug, but a lot of times I'll listen to his content, and he would just leave it on like a gameplay, and it's just one single screen. So I don't think this is bad. And that's what podcasts usually is just
Mainly
you're
audio,
listening.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a big deal.
So the last major piece, the last piece of news I want to bring up, I want to see if I can get a better screenshot of this though, so I can put it up on the screen. Casey, you're gonna have to look at my stream so you can see this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this up on the screen. Just give me a moment. Okay, yeah, here we go. Let me just save this image. I'm gonna get it up there in a minute.
I assume you're talking about the Nintendo.
Yeah, the data breach.
Yeah,
the main thing from the breach I want to talk about is I'm gonna post this, and we're gonna get into it. But right.
It doesn't shock me.
Usually I have this stuff ready to go beforehand, but
it doesn't shock me this happened. I mean, look how many times they did it to the PlayStation and Xbox.
No, this was worse. This data breach leaked a lot of stuff. And
well, I mean, how about
I'm not too sure Nintendo is very happy about it.
Well, I'm sure they're not happy about shit getting leaked out. I mean, look, Sony had that back in 2011 where huge hack into their online where that they had to give some money out to people for what happened, their information getting online.
Well, this wasn't that malicious, but
okay.
All right, so I got it up now, Casey. If you look at the stream,
what?
I know Super Mario 64 is not really one of your favorite Mario games, but
I'll be happy if it comes on the Switch.
I'm sure you guys have heard of the L is Real 2401 mystery, which coincides with the image I got on the screen right now.
Yeah, I heard about they found out that Luigi was actually made in there. I hadn't sat down and watched anything much about it. I just seen, people posting like Luigi was actually made in Mario 64. I'm like, I mean, that's cool.
So, the L is Real mystery has finally been solved. This was part of the big data breach of Nintendo's beta files for a lot of games, including Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, various Pokemon games. Obviously, this one here. A 24-year-old mystery finally put to rest. In the data breach beta files, it was revealed that Luigi was in the game, which was something we kind of all knew anyway, because Miyamoto did try to have like a 2-player mode in Mario 64, but it just didn't work out, so Luigi ended up getting cut. And
I think that would have been cool if they did 2-player.
We all know that he was re-added to
in the DS
64, the DS version. and I saw a video. I saw a video from Swanky Box on YouTube. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No.
Swanky Box, he does a lot of stuff where he does like different gaming challenges.
Mm-hmm.
He does like, for example, one video he made was like, what if Super Mario 64 was flooded, stuff like that, and he talks about like lost bits in games, stuff like that, and he made a video and he actually showed, which I'm trying to also get, but I forgot who it was on Twitter, who actually pulled all of the Luigi files from the beta, reconstructed what Luigi would have looked like using the assets from Mario,
Yeah.
and actually hacked Luigi in the game.
Was that the only thing about the data breach? Is that it?
Well, that's what I wanted to bring up. That was like the biggest thing because the internet was going ape shit about it yesterday.
To me, it's cool. I mean, like I said, I wish it was a 2-player because back in the day when I was playing this, like it would have been cool to play this with my brother. I don't think Mario 64 is horrible. It's just the controller really took it away from me. I'm like, if it comes on the Switch, I'm definitely playing this. And then that's how I would play it.
So this is what Luigi would have looked like. This is what Luigi would have looked like. Let me see if this fucking works. Okay, cool. This does work. Okay, so
by the way, I went back and looked at it. Looked like yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, this is what he would have looked like. This is from Tetrabit Gaming's video. I'm not going to actually play the video. I guess I could skim through it, kind of like what Joe does, but
just keep it like it's not worth.
Well, no, I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to like drag it along so you can kind of see.
Yeah.
Stuff here. Yeah, there was somebody on Twitter who put all that together, and
what shocks me, it's a little bit more smoother than what Mario looked like, you know.
So, yeah, so that's that there. So the 24-year-old mystery finally solved, finally put to rest, and going back to the number 2401. You know how long it has exactly been a mystery, Casey? 24 years and 1 month ago since the El is Real mystery started.
So, hold on, you think... Huh.
That's why. So people are bringing up that coincidence that the mystery was exactly 24 years and 1 month old, tying the mystery coincidence into the number 2401.
See, I can barely even read that at all. I kind of see.
You can see it a little bit. Like you have to have like an imagination to see El is Real. You could definitely see the 2401 though. And then underneath it looks like it says the Eternal Star.
I can't see what that says on the below.
But yeah, that was the main thing I wanted to bring up regarding the leak. Since, like I said, the internet was going apeshit about it yesterday. There was like so many YouTube videos made on it and so much stuff on Twitter. It was nuts.
Honestly, I don't think Nintendo cares if people find that out.
Man, I think they care a little bit because I don't think they want, their source codes and stuff on the internet, because then people are going to steal them, and then people are going to, make more fan games and stuff, and you know how Nintendo feels about their fan games.
Yeah, but people are going to make fan games anyways. I mean, you're not gonna stop them all with all these fan games. I'm like,
Oh, Nintendo does. They go after a lot of people. They
well,
shut
it's pretty
they shut
well.
down what was that one called? A2S A2SR or A2 SMR,
I know.
which was a fan remake of Metroid Prime 2, I believe it was, or one
Well,
of the Metroid games.
if you put it online, yeah, but if you have like a reproduction cart, you're not gonna stop that. Like, what are you gonna do? Nintendo's gonna come and get that reproduction cart?
Well, they can if bootleggers start selling them. But when people make
Well,
fan games and they steal their IPs, like
yeah.
how many Pokemon fan games have been released on the internet that got DMCA'd, like Pokemon Uranium,
Mm-hmm.
um, the Pokemon Essentials tool, which helped rip assets from the ROMs of the older games, which people used to make fan games. They get people get cease and desist all the time by Nintendo.
Well, I got like several reproduction games. Like I got Link Legends of Zelda. What's it called? Outlands, and I also have the Japanese Mario 2 and the greeting card. I got Earthbound, the NES version, and the Nintendo World Championship.
No,
Uh,
Sega hires people who make Sonic fan games. That's why we got Sonic Mania, because Sega actually gives their fans a chance when they impress their when they impress the people that they're actually stealing their assets from.
I agree with that. I mean, like you said, like uh, Sonic Mania was a fan game, and then, like you said, Sega was impressed and like, hey, we
Well,
want to
it
slap.
wasn't exactly a fan game. Christian Whitehead made a couple other Sonic fan games.
Mm-hmm.
Sega found out about him. They were impressed. Gave the kid a job. So
And
then we
that's
got Sonic Mania, and we got the great ports, mobile ports only, unfortunately, of
yeah.
Sonic 1 and 2, which actually, the mobile port of Sonic 2 has the restored Hidden Palace Zone in the game. Fully finished and functional. And Christian Whitehead was also behind the PS3, Xbox 360, PC, and mobile ports of Sonic CD that we got as well.
It
Um,
just it just sucks Nintendo does that where like
I think they should be more lenient. I mean, if you're making stuff with their assets, I can understand where they're coming from. But if they're not
yeah,
selling anything and they're not making money from it and they're just showing off what they did, to
yeah.
some people, it's like, give them a break. They're not making money. They're not stealing money from you guys.
Or,
I
or at
mean, they
least
should be a little more lenient, in a way.
or,
And maybe give them a job. Give them a fucking chance.
exactly. That's what I was about to do. Like Sega did, give them a job. Like if it's impressing, like there's the Mother Four ROM is out there, and they want to release this thing, but of course, as the Mother Four, they're not going to be allowed to do it. So instead of rewriting the whole thing, they just changed the name from Mother Four to I think Oddity, and I can't wait for this thing to come out. It's supposed to. It looks pretty cool. It's like a love note to Earthbound on the Super Nintendo.
There's a Donkey Kong Country 4 fan game in the works, too. It's been in the works for quite a while. I've been following the development of that, and it actually looks pretty fun. Um, so yeah, I understand where you're coming from on that front. And remember the guy who jailbroke the PS3, and originally he was going to go to jail for it, and then PlayStation
Yeah,
hired him for their security team.
yeah.
I mean, you know what? If you do stupid shit like that could get you in trouble, maybe that's a sign of the company. Like, wow, we're impressed with this person. Maybe we should give him a job. But no, Nintendo's like, nope, fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck
pretty
you.
much.
Cease and desist. Fuck you.
The thing is, Nintendo's just too strict. Well, Nintendo Japan is very strict in their ways, and they need
Nintendo
to.
is just behind the times all the time because
No, Nintendo USA is not bad. Like like
what,
Angry Joe says, Nintendo USA is not bad. It's Nintendo Japan is an archaic thinking. They
well,
really
yeah.
need to. They really.
Well, they're the ones that make the final decisions because Nintendo
Yeah,
originated in Japan and
yeah,
Sega, Nintendo Europe and Nintendo America, they
yeah.
have to listen to Japan, but that
Mm,
just makes it feel like Nintendo as a whole is always behind the times because look how long it took them to have cloud save storage for their games.
shit, we don't even.
Look how long it took them to let people do streams and let's plays of their games on YouTube. They used to
Yeah,
go after everybody for doing that.
exactly.
I mean,
Especially,
they still do now, but it's not as often.
uh, I th- I thought they pretty much are lenient on that now
Well,
because
yeah, they're more lenient, but they'll still go after people for doing it, even
well, I
though
think
you know. I think if you're
I,
doing a live stream, like they don't care if you do live streams, but if you like do
yeah,
walkthrough videos and stuff, they'll go after those.
I can yeah, I can understand that a little bit. I mean, if I'm streaming, having a let's play, because I'm having my own fun. I'm not like, hey guys, you go this way now.
Yeah,
But
that's what I mean. Like just straight up walkthroughs of games where you're not talking behind the gameplay and stuff.
yeah,
I don't think Nintendo likes those very much. But if you're uploading a video and you're talking about the game and stuff like that, I think they're definitely more lenient with those because they used
mm,
to have the Nintendo Creators Program, and then they shut that down last year, I believe, sometime last year,
yeah.
and that
Oh,
was also partially due to the adpocalypse that was happening on YouTube,
yep.
which partially may or may not have been PewDiePie's fault, according to whoever you talk, depending on who you
Uh,
talk to.
no, actually, I think wasn't it hate speech that it was companies found out about their ads are being sponsoring hate speech.
Yeah, but there
And,
were also articles written on the internet that PewDiePie made like Jewish or Nazi jokes or whatever, and I think he said
yeah,
the N word once or something like that, and people they weren't happy about that either.
I don't think that helped,
It didn't.
but as like when a company is like, hey, why is our ad on this speech video? Like, and then they're like, they show this around, it's like, hey, look at this BS and take it to other companies. And that's what, to me, that's what caused the ad apocalypse.
So that was all the news that we had this time around. We're not done yet. Don't go anywhere. Next, I want to talk about Casey. You gave me another idea. You gave me another idea
It'd
when
be
you
news to me because I forgot.
when you sent me that list. When you sent me that list
Oh,
last week of the
yeah.
biggest console failures in video games,
Mm-hmm.
there was another thing behind it. There was another thing behind it, which I just flashed on screen, which
Uh,
was the biggest video game software fails of all time.
interesting.
So we're going to go over that too. Um, this list is from Ranker. It's the top 14 video game bombs of all time. Pretty much games that sold the least amount of software and whatnot.
Was it like something that it's a franchise, but it
No,
that
just single video game releases.
hmm.
So number 14 on the list is Grim Fandango, released in 1998 by LucasArts.
Huh.
The game has a bit of a cult classic following. Released in
Yeah.
1998, the game received a lot of awards, recognized for its amazing soundtrack and adventure game mechanics. Oddly enough, despite the high critical acclaim, the game didn't sell more than 500,000 copies, even several years after release.
You know what? 500,000? That's still not that bad, actually. I mean, it's not great, but there's a lot worse than that.
I mean, yeah, for the 90s, I would say that's not terrible because the game consoles back then, unless you're a PlayStation, weren't
Yeah,
really selling more than 40, 50 million units.
yeah.
And normally, any copy of any given video game normally only sells about 10 to 20% tops of the total units consoles sold. So you figure 50 million units, say even 10%. Well, like what was it? The N64 sold 32.67 million, I think.
Yeah.
So pretty much, if you like really at any time, and I guess even you could say today, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
sell at least 1 million copies of a game, your game's considered a failure.
To me, that's not fair. I mean, because that. I mean, well, yeah. Well, there's the thing. Like right now, like the PlayStation 4 hit 100 million, right? I think didn't they just hit 100 million, or are they approaching it?
No, I don't think they hit 100 million. Last I heard, it was maybe they did. They probably
I'm
did.
not. I think they did, but if you out of 100 million, if you don't really hit 1 million, to them it is a failure. For Nintendo, I don't think that's as much as bad. I mean, but like if you do hit that million, you're kind of like, yes, good job, guys.
Now I can understand if you're an indie studio or like not a AAA developer, you're
Yeah.
not going to hit that million mark or maybe even a half a million. But this was a AAA studio in LucasArts, obviously famous at the time for the Star Wars games.
I,
Um,
I, I would definitely say that's a failure, though. I mean, I'm just saying, heard worse.
so number 14 is Okami. Okami was the game with the wolf, and you drew stuff with a paintbrush. Um,
Hmm.
I played it, got bored of it after a while. Released in 2006, developed by
Oh,
Hexadrive, Ready at Dawn, and Clover Studios. By 2006, Okami had only sold a total of 900,000 copies, for which it won the Guinness World Record for least commercially successful winner of a Game of the Year award.
that's kind of interesting. I mean, what sucks is sometimes if you get a game that's really good and not people know what what it is, but it could be awesome. It could be like one of the best games. I mean, like look what happened to Earthbound. I
And
mean,
I
people.
apologize, I misspoke. That number was as of 2009. Originally, in its first year in 2006, it only sold 270,000 copies. By
Yeah, but
2009, it sold 900,000.
yeah, still, but that's went up in 3 years. That's not too bad. I
I
mean, it's
mean,
not great.
but most video games don't have a long shelf life, though. Like, even
Mm,
games today, a game comes out, an anticipated game comes out, it's popular
mm,
for maybe 6 months to a year if it's really good, really
yes.
popular. Like fucking Fortnite, that game's never gonna die. PUBG was popular for at least a year. Rocket
Yeah.
League had a strong following for a while. People don't talk about those games really anymore.
Like,
So if you don't have like a big impact within the first year, or maybe 2 years tops, especially in today's generation, depending on DLC, continued support after launch. When you think of 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009,
mhm.
the games sold only 200, an average of 225,000 copies a year.
Mm.
I don't know. I think
I mean, it's
it's
still a failure.
yeah, it's not
And
great. I mean, like I said, it won a Guinness World Record for being the biggest commercial failure that won a Game of the Year award. So that's telling you something.
see, well, it says least commercial successful winner of the game. I'm like, that does not make sense. So it's the least commercially, but then it says it also successful. So technically, that said that actually made money off the game.
TSS gave us the update. PS4 has sold 102.8 million units.
I figure it was past 100 million. I wasn't 100% sure.
The last I remember seeing the number was like 89 something, and I knew it was close. Number 12 on this list. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Pac-Man? I can understand the Atari version.
This, huh? Is it they're showing the Atari version?
It's showing the Atari version next to, I guess, the arcade version.
Yeah.
I could understand the Atari version. People did not like that one, and I could understand it because it looks ugly.
Yeah, I mean, well, people hated it. I enjoyed it when I was a child because to me it was still fun. But I can understand if you put me now, well, I know what Pac-Man really looks like, and put me back in the past, and I saw that, I would have been upset.
So I believe they are talking about the Atari version. It says Pac-Man first came to fruition in 1972 as an arcade game. However, in 1983, the video game industry hit an all-time low. Obviously, during the crash of 1983, the oversaturation of video games. In an effort to increase sales, Atari decided to purchase the exclusive rights to Pac-Man and released a poor quality version for the Atari 2600. Initial sales were a success, but Atari ambitiously produced 12 million copies of the game, nearly half of which were never sold.
So to me, like that's saying 6 million was sold.
Oddly enough, this subpar port of the arcade cabinet original holds the title of best-selling game for the Atari 2600 with over 7 million copies sold.
So
sounds like a success to me overall.
Yeah, especially,
a lot of games today don't even hit that number.
Exactly. I mean, unless you're like a Nintendo property game that, like Mario, even Splatoon.
Those Splatoon I wouldn't say is anywhere near 7 million, but Mario, Zelda I can see.
Mario Kart,
true, yeah. Yep.
But you go to third party. I mean, sometimes Nintendo blow those numbers away, and then sometimes AAA would blow their numbers away. Like, look at GTA 5. Like, isn't GTA 5 the best-selling game of all time?
I'm not too sure about that. I don't really follow gaming software all too much. Like only like when it pops up in the news. Like Nintendo for a little while was running a top 10 list of their best most sold Switch games.
I like that.
Most of which games sold maybe no more than a little over 2 million. I think most of them on that list sold at least 1 million.
I wonder if those are updates. Like, this yearly we sold this many, because it never seems like when the Switch came out, it was over 100%. What's it called? When someone has a Switch, everyone who had a Switch at launch had.
I'm gonna vote that one down because I don't agree with that.
I agree.
7 million sold. I mean, that's still pretty damn good. If you ask me, it shouldn't be considered a failure. That's Atari's fault for overestimating.
Look at it. there's a 211 votes down, so obviously they messed up on that
Only
one.
76 votes up, yeah. Well, 211 with mine. But yeah, I mean, I think that's Atari's fault why they think the game is a failure, because they overestimated how popular Pac-Man was, and for their shitty port, they should be glad they even sold as many as they did.
Well, they relied on the Pac-Man name.
Exactly.
Like the same thing.
They relied on the Pac-Man name. They relied on the popularity of the arcade version, but then they made their version, which was a hell of a lot shittier.
Oh yeah. And, well, because it wasn't ready. I mean,
no. I think if they made it an Atari 7800 game or a 5200 game, they could have made it a lot more like the arcade, and it would have probably maybe it wouldn't have even still sold more than it did.
Well, I can pull one out right now. Miss Pac-Man looks almost close to the arcade on the Atari 7800.
Right. So if they would have waited, they could have made it look a lot more like the arcade. And even when they did, who's to say they still would have even sold more than 7 million? You know?
Probably. You gotta remember, some of those came back as well as refunds.
Number 11 is Shenmue on the Dreamcast.
I want to hear about the numbers on that.
Shenmue, released in the year 2000, developed by AM R&D Department, number 2, Sega AM2. Shenmue was released... Wait a minute. Well, that opening statement's wrong. Shenmue was not released on the Sega Dreamcast in 97. The Dreamcast didn't even exist in the 97.
I think it came out in 98 in Japan, didn't it? And then 99 in America.
2000, according to Ranker, but that could be wrong. The game had a $47 million budget and an excellent developer team determined to outshine PC games. Shenmue was sure to be a hit. Lead director Suzuki introduced cutting-edge features like an open world, a day-night cycle, which is not cutting-edge because NES games had that. RPG elements for the genre that would influence the video game industry for years. Unfortunately, the game was not too far ahead of its time. The game was riddled with technical issues upon release. Worse, development costs had run so high that it actually contributed to putting Sega's whole Dreamcast console out of business.
No, that's not true.
It does not actually state how many units this game actually sold.
Nah. See, the reason Sega really hurt themselves when they did the 32X.
And then when the CD add-on, although out of the two, the CD was definitely the better of the two add-ons.
Exactly.
They should have stopped at the CD. They didn't need a 32X.
No, they should have went from the Sega CD to the Saturn, gave Saturn a little bit more time, and then, went from like maybe 4 or 5 years with the Saturn, and then did the Dreamcast.
Now, but I'll agree that if the development costs were so high that it was draining Sega's finances, I would agree that yes, this is something that helped kill the Dreamcast in the end, but it certainly wasn't the deciding factor.
Oh no,
that was the fucking PlayStation 2 and the Xbox.
Exactly.
That put the nail in Sega's coffin.
There was no room to have a fourth console.
No, well, once Microsoft said, "Hey, we're making something," and everyone knew it was going to be much better than what Sega had, they knew they had to close up shop.
No. They're like, screw it. I'm like, Nintendo's going to be a mainstay.
But one thing I really liked about Shenmue was all the arcade games they put in it that you could play. That was pretty cool.
You're going to not like this. I recently just started playing the remake version for the first time on Xbox. So I'm trying it out it's cool. enjoyed it. I need to go back and play it.
I wouldn't mind playing it. I mean, I got excited for Shenmue 3 when that first got announced, but I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you that game got overhyped because nobody talks about that no more. But
Well, well,
TSS said since we saw Pac-Man on this list, ET is certainly going to be on it. We'll
oh
see.
yeah, I agree. It's gotta be.
Let's
Spe-
see.
But I call BS on this list already after seeing they say, and then they didn't even say how much Shamu, how you pronounce it.
Yeah, they
Uh,
didn't. They didn't reveal the sales numbers for that one.
yeah, so, and you know what? The sale number's getting higher with this list. I'm like, should it go lower?
Yeah,
Because
you
remember,
would think.
because it started at 500,000, and then they were talking about the next game is seven.
Nine
Uh,
hundred thousand and then 7 million.
yeah,
Let's
I'm like,
see,
what the fuck?
Shenmue Dreamcast. I'm gonna look up right now how many copies Shenmue sold on the Dreamcast.
Shamu.
Shenmue Dreamcast units. Shenmue sold 1.2 million copies on the Dreamcast total.
And I think was it 13 million who had maybe 12 million people who had a Dreamcast. So that's not great, but
Let's see.
it
Sega
still
Dreamcast
broke.
units sold.
It still broke a million. So I mean, yeah, they could have probably not made any money, but apparently it's good enough that they warranted a sequel.
Sega Dreamcast. Sega sold 9.13 million Dreamcasts.
I thought they broke over 12 million.
Nope, not according to this. 9.13 million, which is just behind the Sega Saturn, which sold
No, I know.
9.26.
I don't. I don't think that's accurate. I think Dreamcast sold more than Saturn.
According
But
to what I'm seeing, I gotta disagree.
uh, I'm not gonna say I know everything. So I mean,
Number 10 is Layer from
I never
2007.
I never heard of it.
It was a PS3 game. I know it wasn't very popular. Made by Factor 5. Layer was a launch title for the PS3. No, it wasn't because the PS3 came out in 2006. Um, the game explored remote play functions. The game was developed by Factor 5, which actually ended up dissolving because of this game. So apparently they went bankrupt apparently because of this game's failure. Layer garnered a lot of attention due to early displays of some great graphics, but met with lukewarm reviews due to the onslaught of technical issues. To make matters worse, Sony then sent reviewers a guide on how to review Layer after receiving criticisms of the game.
Hmm. I'm, I don't know.
It's, I'm
Yeah.
going to look these games up that don't tell us on the list how many copies they sold. Let's see if I can find this one. I never played.
This
I never played Lair, so I have no idea.
this this list sucks.
It's certainly not the greatest, is it?
Uh, oh,
Let me see. I'm trying to see if it's here. Sales history. Total sales. Um, looks like 80,000. Wait. Oh no, is that the million? There's no way that sold. Okay, I get it. So it sold 80,000 in Japan, 360,000 in America. So that's what is that? 440,000. 40,000
yeah.
in Europe, 40,000 in other regions. So, I'm an idiot. It has a total right here. It sold 510,000 worldwide
Oh,
copies for Lair.
yeah, I didn't see that until you said that it has a total.
Yeah,
I was
so
thinking
it barely sold more than Grim Fandango, and
so.
yet Grim Fandango started this list.
Hey, while you're on this, is this the same chart you went to where you checked Shenmue on?
No, that just popped up right on Google. This one I actually had to go to the website for.
Uh,
The next game, number 9, APB All Points Bulletin. I've heard of APB Reloaded. Not
uh,
quite familiar with this one. Made by Real Time Worlds in 2008.
I've
Uh,
never heard of it.
so I guess APB stands for All Points Bulletin. The game had a lot of hype behind it. I'm not too sure about that because I never heard of it. Uh, it was designed by David Jones, creator of GTA, and was marketed as being the next GTA Online, with over $100 million spent on producing the game. Expectations were high. The publisher made a strange move and chose to bar sites from reviewing the game until a week after launch, which severely affected pre-orders and first-week sales. In addition, unpolished gameplay contributed to the game just falling off the radar. Well, I don't think it was ever on the radar.
Well, I mean, bar sites for reviewing a game that just a week after the launch. I mean, they did that shit to themselves. They should give.
Yeah, they
It's
kind of
kind of
shot
like,
themselves in the foot with that one.
I mean, if you don't promote your game at all, like, how the hell we're gonna know about it? I mean, unless we happen to walk through Walmart, it's like, oh, Super Mario 64 is on Switch. I'm like, well, that's news to me, you know?
So, according to this one, All Points Bulletin sold approximately 1.5 million copies.
So it's going up again.
It won multiple awards, including prestigious BAFTA and Development Industry Excellence Awards, according to Google.
Excuse me. This
Uh,
this is kind of unreliable. It should the amount of games sold least as it should get lower and lower by the number go higher.
Jay Moon says he used to love Shenmue, but Shenmue 3 broke his heart.
I never played it. Yeah, it wasn't what he didn't like at all.
I'm guessing he didn't like 3 very much. TSS says
Well,
he's never heard of All Points Bulletin. The only one I've heard of. The only reason I've heard of it is because one of my friends played it on Steam. There's a game called APB Reloaded, which is free to download, and that's the only reason I've ever heard of the series. I tried to play it, and from what I played, it was a buggy mess.
I wonder if J Moon got the Shenmue 3 for full price or the amount I got it for $30.
I don't know.
We'll see. I'm
Jay
waiting
Moon,
for it.
he's asking you a question there, bud. How much did you pay for Shenmue 3?
If I highly suggest people, if you're gonna buy a new game, go to Walmart. It's at least sometimes $10 off the game. Go to Walmart.
Lately, they've been doing that a lot. I
Yeah,
even got the new Pokemon games when it came out. $10 off.
and sometimes like right now, like you go to Target or Best Buy, Shenmue is $60. While you go to Walmart, it's like 20, 25, or even 30, give or take. So
Number eight on this list. Apparently, more people think it should be higher than lower. Number 8 on this list is Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness.
I was not a big fan of Tomb Raiders. I mean, maybe the first one. I actually played a demo of Tomb Raider on the PC a long time ago. But after that, I just wasn't a huge fan of Tomb Raider.
Developed by Core Design, released in 2003. Didn't AVGN do a review on this game? Like he shit all over this game. I feel like one time.
Possibly, I think you're right. I'm
I meant to
not.
bring him up too. So before I continue this, I'm gonna derail myself here. No pun, no reference to Drew, but AVGN collaborated with the Irate Gamer on a video that the Irate Gamer did for the Dick Tracy video game that AVGN shit all over
Mm.
years ago. Did you ever see that at all by any chance?
I started watching a little bit of it, but I fell asleep. But it is on my watch later list on YouTube.
I thought for sure the video was going to be better than it was. I mean, James was not in the video much. Irate Gamer challenged him to a race to see who can beat Dick Tracy first.
Yeah.
And then it was just an Irate Gamer video. He was doing kind of like a step-by-step walkthrough-ish review of how he beat the game, which I've never really seen reviews done in that style.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the video was going to be better than it was, but
well, how much was James in it?
Not much. Yeah, he had, he was in it a little bit. I would say all of his screen time out of the entire video was maybe 2 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Out of the entire video, which was a hell of a lot longer than that, let me tell you.
Oh, that's why I kind of like when I started watching it. I was like, "Where the hell is the nerd?" And then I fell asleep.
Yeah, I used to watch the Irate Gamer, but I don't know. He fucking bugs me now. He's boring. But anyways, Angel of Darkness Tomb Raider. It was released 2003. The game was not very good. The game went through 2 different development teams. Instead of the incredible, innovative product they promised, gamers were greeted with an incomplete, glitchy mess, riddled with control issues. The game was such a flop that it almost brought about the end of the Lara Croft franchise.
Yeah, I mean, well, when they keep pumping those games out, like, to me, if you're going to go 1, 2, 3, like they did kind of in the PlayStation, and you gotta be careful. You just keep pumping them out real quick. Quality control is out of the window.
Angel of Darkness Tomb Raider sold 2.5 million copies.
Again, the number's going up instead of it should be going down.
So far, let me tell you, I haven't played a single one of these games. I did not play the Atari version of Pac-Man. I did not play Lair. Did not play Grim Fandango. I am familiar with Shenmue, but I never played it. I lied to you. I played Okami. I played one game on this list so far. All right, number 7. Let me scroll back up here. Number 7 is Def Jam Rap Star. I believe that's the first Def Jam fighting game. No. This one was in 2010. I played the demo for this one, but I didn't actually play the game. Fight for New York, in my opinion, was the best in the series.
I never played it.
Def Jam Rap Star, released in 2010 by 4mm Games. Never heard of that company, but okay. Rap Star wasn't a terrible game. It was basically the same game as SingStar. Well, no wonder why the game was a flop. But with rap and hip-hop songs. The only problem was that the producers didn't do their homework. They released the game featuring 54 songs that they had not claimed the rights to.
Oh no!
So record labels and publisher EMI sued the company for upwards of $8 million, bankrupting the studio and forcing them to shut down their online community site, which basically left Def Jam Rap Star dead in the water.
Well, they were stupid enough to not think they had to go and get the rights to the songs or the
That
license.
that's fucking stupid.
They deserve to go down if they did that. I'm sorry. I always want to see these video game companies do good, but when you do something stupid like that, you did it to yourself.
This game was such a flop, Casey. I'm trying to find out how many units this game sold, and all
Yeah.
I'm seeing is the lawsuit.
No joke. Huh.
Like, this game apparently was such a shit show.
Are you sure it wasn't even released?
Well, it had to have been released. Well, yeah, it was released 2010.
Huh. Well, maybe it's so low that I gotta keep my eye
That should be
open
up.
for
That
it.
should definitely be higher up on this list if that's the case. It sounds like some of the reason some of these games are on here is because the developers and the publishers shot themselves in the ass.
You know
You
what?
shouldn't
That's
fault the
what
game
that.
for that.
You know what? That sounds like a good reason for this list. It's just a bad title for the list.
Yeah, it should be called Top 14 Times Developers
Screwed up.
screwed up, made a stupid decision. Number 6, Driver 3. I played this game. I didn't like it very much. Certainly better than the first one, though.
I never played the driver games.
Driver San Francisco is pretty good. If you ever come across that, I'd recommend you try it.
Oh yeah, the you said the San Francisco one.
Yeah, it's for PS3, Xbox 360. But this one, Driver 3, released in 2004, made by Ubisoft.
I see Driver 3 all the time when I go like to video game stores.
So Driver 3 was basically Driver 2 with a coat of polish, was almost immediately universally rejected. In addition to terrible controls, the game only provided 3 hours of single player content. The biggest scandal, however, was the fact that despite being a terrible game, the Driver 3 received overwhelmingly positive game reviews from different review sites. Just saying. Excuse me.
Are they saying that they are paid off? Given
No, I'm saying that.
Well, I'm saying it says I think that's what they're saying. They said despite being a terrible game,
Yeah, it received overwhelmingly positive reviews from different news sites,
no,
and that's when I
think
chimed in what I just did there.
yeah, I think they're saying that as well. Like I think they're thinking they got paid off as well.
The scandal led to the incident, which was called Drivergate, which I did hear about. I actually watched a YouTube video all about this one night. People were generally turned off by the dishonest practices of both publishers and journalists.
Once you screw the gamers, of you kind of almost like God, what's that No Man's Sky, where people got mad. You really have to make it up for people to forgive you.
So yet again, it's the case of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
You lie about your game. You pay off, seemingly, allegedly, pay off journalists to write bullshit reviews about your game. People catch on to it, and they see right through your bullshit, and then they don't buy it.
Yeah, we vote with our wallets, and that's what happens. I mean, that's why a lot of times it's just so hard. I mean, I love Nintendo because usually they know what they're doing right with their games. But as of even some of the publishers back in the day, like Capcom and
Capcom.
Konami,
Okay.
Capcom,
Konami.
Capcom, Konami, uh, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot. Same thing with EA. EA wasn't that bad, and Activision as well. I mean, they weren't that bad back in the day, and they got greedy, and you can't trust them as much.
The only sales figure I'm actually able to find on this game was the fact that it sold at least 300,000 copies in the United Kingdom. I can't find another sales figure for this game, so
Uh,
300,000 is pretty bad.
yeah, that is pretty bad.
Now,
Especially,
there's a game on this list, honestly, I think should be on this list, but it's a game I actually own, and I'll talk about it when the list is over. Let's check the chat real quick. What are we saying here? TSS says he knows why the game was a failure. He said, from what I heard, they reviewed an early build of the game and just gave it a high score based on that and not the finished product. Not surprised.
I
That's
like
the
this
actual
one.
reason. I'm not surprised.
I like this one coming up.
You have this game, Casey. Daikatana.
Yeah, for 64. I really should give it a try because it's John Romero's game by
Released in 2000, made by Chemco Studios and Ion Storm.
Ion Storm. That's John Romero's company. He's
Yep.
like, oh, this is the one. He's like, this game's gonna make you my bitch.
He was also the head designer for Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, and Quake, which were also very popular in the 90s.
Yeah.
When he announced Daikatana, people were understandably very excited. But when things took a turn for the worst, when an ad campaign launched stating John Romero's about to make you his bitch. The horizon looked even bleaker when the development studio, Ion Storm, tried and failed, might I add, to quickly switch engines before the scheduled 1999 release. I remember that. Not only having the fans mad about the ads, but the game was released late and had terrible gameplay mechanics. Ion Storm's parent company, IDOS Interactive, dumped nearly $40 million into this game before it decided to call its time of death.
Let me ask you something. Did that ad make you upset?
No, actually, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, to me as well. I mean, so
I would think that ad wouldn't go over in today's society, but in the 90s, I thought it would have went over better than apparently it did.
Maybe the parents I can understand. They're like, oh, we're not buying you because look at this ad. But we're gonna look at it as like, that's funny.
Holy that is not good. Daikatana only sold 8,190 copies in the United States alone.
And that one thing is that might be that looks like it's the PC version. What about the N64 version?
I'm trying to find. Daikatana sucks. It's official.
It's official. Well, try.
Let me type in Daikatana total units sold. Maybe I'll find this.
Wonder how much. And check that. How much that goes on price chart.
The game says it sold poorly. It's about the only thing I could find on here.
I highly suggest anyone who does go collect games is use price charting on the internet.
How much is it going for on Amazon? Let's take a look real quick.
Let's see.
6 used from $4. There you go, $4 a game.
God, how trying to. It's going to take me a little bit to find this because I don't know how to spell Daikatana. I guess I can pull the game out.
I got it right here on the screen. DAIKATANA.
DAIKATA. ANA.
The game released for PC and the
Oh,
N64.
there we go. Oh, you know what? It's going for loose right now. $55. That's not bad. It's actually spiking right now. It's the last few years been hovering around $20. Well, in between 2018 and 2019, it jumped a little past $40. Then it came down. Now it's went just past $55. God, complete box version is $232. Wow. I'll keep an eye out for a box. And a box price going, just the box, is $75.
God, Jesus.
Hey, like if I find it in the wild, it's like, dude, I want just the box. I don't want the game.
Okay, so I did find. Looks like the total sales, at least according to this Wikipedia article, is 40,351 copies. That's pretty bad, especially when it was being projected to be required to sell 2.5 million copies to be seen as profitable. Didn't come anywhere near that. So I think Katana probably needs to be higher on this list, to be honest. That's number 5.
Look what TSS says. $1 for the box to a shitty game. Hey, you know what? I love my boxes, quite honestly. So if I can find a box for it, I'm willing to pay $20 or something for a popular game for its box.
Oh, I knew this game would have to be on the list. Number 4, Duke Nukem Forever. I played the shit. Well, I played the shit out of this game, but I played it.
Oh yeah, I got that. It's not good.
Released by in 2011 by Gearbox Software and 3D Realms. Duke Nukem Forever was the long-awaited sequel to the incomparable Duke Nukem, which was released on the N64, Duke Nukem 3D on the PlayStation.
And the PC.
Was supposed to release back in 1998, but was inexplicably delayed time and time again until 2006. Since the game's development started in the 90s, it had some pretty outdated graphics. Add the fact that the developers and publishers were fighting over funding and licensing rights, and you got the end result of a heavily criticized flop. The game was stuck in development hell for about 12 years before it finally got finished.
Yep. Yeah, I'm shocked that they didn't cancel it, but I mean they revised it so many times. Shoot, I got it right now on the 360. I mean, I think I paid $5 when it came out. When it was universally panned, and everyone wanted their money back. It'd be funny if I still had the sticker on it. See if I can reach it without dropping my phone.
I played it on GameFly, so I played it, beat it, sent it back.
No sticker, but I didn't enjoy it. I still prefer like right now. It's on it's obviously on the newer systems as well. Like I picked it up on the PS4 originally when I first had it, and then I picked it up again on son of a bitch. Picked it up when I got the Xbox 360. No, I mean Xbox One. And then I picked it digitally on
And there goes the phone.
and picked it up digitally on the Switch.
So the game was projected to only ended up selling half of its projected amount. It sold 376,300 copies in the first month of release, which isn't bad for its first month.
Oh no, that's pretty good.
It's just the fact that the development was awful, and then what we ended up getting as the finished product was not what anyone was expecting.
It pretty much is. That's what happened, like with Daikatana. Just even worse. I mean, they had longer delays, and Daikatana was supposed to be the best game since Doom, and it didn't. So you hyped this. Oh no, I see the next one. this definitely deserves it. So
Superman 64.
Oh, this game sucks. Hey, I've seen reviews where they went back and looked at the beta, and the beta was way better. I mean, it wasn't all about flying through rings and then after get past the rings, do one little section, and then you're flying by through the rings again.
Yeah, this game was not very good. It was quite the shit show. And then a lot of other times when you weren't flying through rings, it didn't give you very much time to read your mission objective before it went away off the screen. AVGN did a video on this one too. Wasn't very good. The game, I mean.
Yeah.
Video games saw a surge of superhero games in the late 90s and early 2000s. Unfortunately, many of the titles were shameless money grabs that were churned out as quickly as possible. It's what we call shovelware, my friends. Superman was no exception. In addition to production delays and basic control problems, the game suffered from serious technical issues. Most notably, this title is often referred to as the worst game of all time.
I agree with that.
I don't know if I agree with that. The worst game of all time? That's a stretch.
All right. Which one's your worst game? Let me guess. Is it E.T.?
I honestly wouldn't know because I don't judge games. Like, I don't judge games based on
You know what? We need to do that as a list. What considered as the worst games of all time?
If I could find it. So according to this, it looks like North America, Superman was a top seller in North America June 1999. In July of the same year, Titus announced Superman 64 had been the third best-selling game for the N64, topping at over 500,000 units sold. But that doesn't give me a total.
Well, it's still saying over 500,000, but I'm like I said, I've seen beta where the game was supposed to be really good. I think if you got past a certain a level, then the game kind of opens up. But when you're just flying through rings, it just kills it for you. So this deserves to be the worst game.
I got it. Well, this, according to this is conflicting. According to the sales wiki, it only sold 410,000 copies, but according to Google, it sold over 500,000. So,
well, honestly, I think there's only two companies know the number. It's gonna be Titus. And Nintendo is probably the only one who really knows the exact number sold,
Right. So that was number 3. Any guesses for what number 2 and what number 1 will be before I scroll up?
Well, obviously, it got to be.
You got a hint. You got a hint right there of what number 2 is.
It's got to be. Well, you think it's supposed to be E.T., but E.T. actually sold a lot. I don't know.
J Man says, or J Moon. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Justin. J Moon says, Superman 64. What a game. ... To say the least. TSS goes, fuck that game. Superman 64 was 2 hours I'll never get back.
Yeah, I see the chat now. I see the chat. I saw that.
Oh, shit. So, you got a hint of what number 2 is. Any guesses on number 2 and number 1? I know number 2. I do not know number 1.
No, I don't even know what the hint is.
If you look at my stream, you'll see it. Or is the screen?
I see Atari. Okay, I'm gonna guess this is ET because it says 82, and that's got to be ET.
TSS says that game that Kurt Schilling made. Oh man! All right, number 2. TSS called it earlier. Number 2 is indeed E.T.
Nah, even though this is considered one of the worst games, it's not great, but it's actually not as bad as you really think. But it also did sell a lot more than you think. I mean, yeah, it did return a lot.
This was the game responsible for that supposed infamous landfill in New Mexico.
Supposedly, they find some of the ET cartridges in the landfill. They found other things. It wasn't just ET. It was filled with other things.
So, released in 1982. This was before the crash of 1983, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So E.T. was, very popular in the 80s. Atari spent around $21 million for the rights to the property to make a game, and also paid $200,000 along with an all expenses paid vacation to Hawaii to secure the right developer. The E.T. video game was highly anticipated at the release of 1982, and here's another issue of shooting yourself in the foot. Becoming a popular sought-after Christmas gift, stores over-ordered and in anticipation, only to be met with disappointment because the title flopped due to mediocre gameplay. The game eventually had sold 1.5 million units and is still one of the best-selling Atari 2600 games. However, over 3 million cartridges went unsold, resulting in a huge commercial loss. Atari buried these copies in a landfill in New Mexico, which was later unearthed in 2014. The total money loss after all this was said and done was said to be $536 million.
And pretty much killing what Atari... Yeah, they had the 5200 and the 7800. They weren't the same after that.
I never played this game. Obviously, I wasn't born until 89, in September of 89. My first game was Super Mario 1, even though by the time I had picked up a controller, Super Mario World was already out. Although, if you have ever seen the AVGN movie, which I don't know if I own anymore because I bought it on Steam before Steam got rid of their video section.
Yeah.
I bought it on Steam for $5. And at the end of the movie, he did the ET review.
Yeah.
And he points out in the review that the game was misunderstood, which I agree. The game was misunderstood. The game was only given, 5 months of development time?
No, I think it was 3 months. They were like, hey, we better put this out in 3 months because they're like, hey, we gotta push this out. We want this before Christmas.
Because James, in his review, seemed to know what he was doing, and he even said, "Do I think this is the worst game of all time? Not really."
Yeah.
And I think he's right about that. I just think the game, people were way too excited. Was an example of expecting one thing and getting something different, getting
Mm-hmm.
not something you're not as excited about. Excuse me, I almost burped there. Um, People didn't know how to play the game, which I guess is. I mean, you got to have a lot of imagination to play Atari games in the first place. Um,
Hey, why isn't the TSS in here? If he wants to say all this, why isn't he in here, man? I mean, next time we go live, you need to be in this chat.
Great, I'm doing something. Can't answer the phone. Um, yeah, well, yeah, he's welcome to join the call next time. We're just about gonna wrap it up here at the 2 hour 5 minute mark.
That's what we've been doing about a couple hours. I mean, always enjoy talking about video games.
Yeah, I have to just message my brother real quick. He says it's impressive when you think that ET was made by one guy and it took him 8 weeks to make it, but still the game is bad. I mean,
You know, the thing.
I would say it's bad, yes, but I would also
Yeah,
say that it's not as bad as. I would also agree that maybe some people exaggerated, and I don't think
mm,
the game is as bad as some people think it is. I think it's one
I
of those games that, as time went on, got a bad reputation.
I agree. I agree. I mean, actually, the guy who did it made one of the most popular Atari games on the 2600. Like, if you gave the guy a little bit more time, he could have made it good. But when you give him such a short time frame, quality control is gone. I mean, especially like if it's a very small team making it. I mean, I don't know how many. I know the guy he's talking about, the same guy who was actually in the AVGN movie as well.
So, takers on number one. What do
Oh,
you
I
think
have.
it's going to be? I have no clue. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I think I got an idea. I'm gonna throw this out. It's
Actually, hold on. Actually, no, I don't have to look up BT. It gave me the numbers. Anyways, go ahead.
I think I think it's Bat Out of Hell or something, where it's this guy on a biker game. It was made for the Xbox 360.
Oh, you're
And,
thinking of what the fuck's the name of that game? Oh my god, I know what you're talking about. Oh, it was the game that had the dry sex in it with the humping.
yes, yeah,
Oh, what the fuck was the name
that's
of that
gotta be
game?
that's gotta be it.
Oh,
That's
I
my
don't
guess.
know. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't fucking remember. It's not
Hey,
Road Redemption. That game was actually good. Um, oh, you motherfucker! I can't remember it.
well, just go ahead and scroll up, unless you give TSS time, but or J Moon. But what about you? What do you think could be?
I honestly don't know. This list has been a hell of a roller coaster.
Yeah, this list is
Very
not
unpredictable. I think this list was.
very very unreal.
I will downvote this though because I don't think it deserves to be number two on this list. Um,
No, this this list is very. Uh, we could made a better list than this. I mean, like, shoot, I was kind of hoping something better than this. Kind of sold 5 copies.
um, like I said, there's a game I want to talk about that maybe should have been on this list.
Yeah.
That I actually own for the PS3. It's an anime game, so I know it's something you haven't played. But yeah, I'll get to it in a minute. So number one is No Man's Sky. which only came out a couple years ago.
No, I'm gonna disagree with this one.
No Man's
Yeah,
Sky was made by Hello Games. I believe it released in 2018. Um,
people
this
are.
game, the developers promised a lot of things, and when the game launched, it had none of those things. But the developers could have just said, "Okay, the game's out. Fuck you guys." But they stuck to their guns. They eventually released most of the things that they promised.
Yeah,
Over time.
and
The game was shit canned at first, though. I will say that, but I don't think it's the biggest flop of all time. Far from it.
no, there's even a VR version on the PS4 Pro, PS4. I want to get it eventually on the VR.
TSS said Sonic R. J
Oh,
Moon says he doesn't agree with that. TSS says, I heard No Man's Sky got better with the updates. It did. That's what I'm saying.
yes.
The devs could have said, fuck you guys. This is our game. This is what you get. But they stuck to their guns. They listened to the people who bought the game. The ones that didn't return it like an hour later. They took, consideration with a lot of the criticism. They added a lot of stuff. People started enjoying the game. Maybe it was a little too late, but I don't think it's the worst game of all time.
I think we need to. I'm looking on the website where it says the very end says Brandon Michaels. I'm thinking this must be the author or editor, wherever.
Yeah, he's the guy that wrote the list.
He needs to go back to school and learn how to do this better.
So
Because he sucks.
No Man's Sky, developed by Hello Games, caught a lot of flack for falsely advertising the game, which I agree with at first, yes. Steam featured ads for the game that displayed a different type of combat, unique buildings, ship flying behavior, and different creature sizes. They were also criticized for displaying ads for the game with higher quality graphics than can be attained in game.
You know what the thing is? They're not the first one who did that. I mean, Watch Dogs did the same thing.
Not many people nowadays advertise their games with a more cinematic look to it, not actually giving you what the in-game graphics look like until the very end.
Yeah.
And then even then, they still make it look a little better than what you're actually going to get. A lot of fucking companies do that now. And like you said, Ubisoft did it with Watch Dogs. Then they went and bottlenecked the PC version so it would be on par with the console versions until the PC gamer said, fuck this noise. And they came up with their own patch for the game that unlocked the higher performance that was still left in the game's code.
Yeah, this...
But anyways, back to No Man's Sky. Complaints were so drastic that the Advertising Standard Authority started an investigation into the campaign of the game, which ultimately concluded that the devs didn't mislead customers. That's a gray area I don't want to skate right now. Mm-hmm. Although the game was a massive critical flop, it was a financial success, raking in an estimate of $43 million and sold over 800,000 copies in the first year of its release, despite losing over 90% of their fan base within 2 weeks' time.
Well, yeah, when you put out a bad version, that's the bad thing with today.
They kind of put out like an open beta as a final release.
Yeah, exactly.
Street Fighter, Capcom did the same thing with Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
Back in 2016.
That's the bad thing about today's age, is that
companies can get away with that now.
Yeah, they can send the game out broken.
Well, I wouldn't say broken. I would say unfinished. Whereas, there should have been more to it. Like with Capcom, when they released the game, the net code was a fucking mess. The online mode was garbage.
Well, the problem.
There was no story mode, and it only had 16 characters. And over
Well,
time, they added more characters. They added a story mode. They added a tag mode or team mode. They made the online better, but the game felt like a beta. It felt like an unfinished version of what we have today in terms of Street Fighter V.
see, thing is, today's age, they send out games that are not fully done, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna send out a day one patch."
Most
And
games have day one patches. Yep.
and then here's the problem: in the future, when these games go down, let's say you can't even keep these games sealed up nowadays.
And you know what?
Let's,
How come 2K20 WWE 2K20 wasn't on this list? That game was a fucking disaster.
well, how old is this list? That depends.
Came out December. What was the date? December 26th. No, December 26th, 2019. So it was after WWE 2K20 came out.
Still, that's not enough time.
Yeah,
It was
well, I mean, I would say maybe, but the game was a mess.
no, the game's a mess, but you got. I mean, it came out. When did it come out? October,
End
maybe
of
November.
No, it came out. I think it was the middle of October, something like that. I don't remember.
Still, that's not a lot of time in 2 months. Yeah, it's like, well, that's pretty much for 2 months or 3 months. That's how you're gonna tell. Oh, something's wrong with this game, or like it's not gonna sell well.
Yeah, but we knew it wasn't going to sell well based on the trailers and everything, and how the graphics looked and everything.
Yeah,
Remember the story mode graphics and how horrible that looked?
yeah.
The characters looked like they had fucking PS1 graphics in the story mode.
Oh,
Anyways, so that's the list. The game I wanted to talk about, it's a game called Cross Edge, developed by Nippon Ichi Studios America. They develop a lot of JRPGs and anime games, some of which I like, some I don't. They made a game called Cross Edge, which was a crossover game with multiple titles, including Darkstalkers, a Capcom title. Was also part of that game. The game flopped. The game was considered to be discontinued after only about 3 months of being on the market. The game only sold a little over 26,000 copies. And I happen to have one of them.
How much again?
It was a little over 26,000 copies, like 26,100 something.
That's not bad. I mean,
That's horrible.
no, I mean to get one of those for when only that many sold.
Yeah, but the game was only the game was only being released. The game was only being printed to the discs and being shipped out to stores and online retailers for only like 3 months because the game was such a flop. They discontinued it so soon, and that's may not even like I don't even think all of those copies they printed in 3 months sold. Out of all those copies, 26,000 something of them is how many that sold.
Did you see how much is it worth?
I haven't looked. I had a hard time. Let me tell you though, when I wanted to buy this game, because I didn't buy it until 2011, so I didn't buy it until 3 years after it came out.
Like I say, go price charting.
Let's see, Cross Edge PS3. Let's see, what is it selling for now? Cross Edge. Here we go. What's Amazon selling it for? Trinity Universe, I have that too. Time and Eternity, I have that.
See, the thing is with price charting,
Cross Edge.
it averages eBay
$60 right now. They're selling. Amazon's selling it for $58, and there's only one left in stock. I'll tell you right now. Let me go to eBay and I'll tell you what's the cheapest one being sold. Let's see. Cross Edge. PS3. There was an Xbox 360 version of this game, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I'm gonna search PS3 because that's the version I bought.
That's fine.
Now, price lowest. Cross Edge, that's a replacement cover. Cross Edge PS3, manual only.
Hmm. Well, it shows
Japan
that one
import.
for $30.
Korean import. Cross Edge Japan. I don't know if that's the game. The Japanese version is apparently only $10. Cross Edge PS3, with no manual, case with no manual. Cheapest one is going for, when you include shipping, about on eBay $25.80.
Oh,
Now, let me see if I can find a complete one. Is that Is that the US version though? It doesn't say. Use PS3 Cross Edge Japan. Trying to find a complete version. Cross Edge tested rare. Yep, that's certainly rare. This one's going for about $32. Japan import. Yeah, the US versions are definitely more money.
Oh yeah. Well,
Rare.
they'll put.
Game with case tested.
Well, here's the thing: is they'll put in eBay. Oh, this game's rare, and they'll put Super Mario Brothers for NES rare. I'm like, so I could do that, and
Well, no. Well, in the case of this game, it is rare because it wasn't out. It wasn't being sent out very long, and
oh
out of
yeah,
all the copies that were made, only about half of them were sold. And I don't know whatever happened to the rest of them that weren't sold. So I would consider Cross Edge a rare game,
oh
but
yeah.
it's certainly not the rarest. That's for sure.
See
But
I just like I said, I still prefer going price charting because they averages eBay and Amazon.
Jay Moon says 2K20 was a disgrace.
Yeah.
He says it's still broken as of today.
Oh yeah. I mean, I hadn't played it in a while.
So
But
if there's anything else you want to talk about, I guess we'll wrap up the podcast. Monday night Rawful or
Ralph,
Monday night snooze just started.
yeah, I was thinking it's a good time, and I can at least give it a try for once again.
Yeah, I don't know. I might see if my mom's gonna watch it. If she's not, then I'm just going to, I don't know, fuck off probably. Uh, Not literally, of course.
Oh my
Well,
god!
maybe later.
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah, man. So if you don't have anything else, I guess we're at the end. I guess we'll wrap things up.
yeah,
Just we'll give the guys a few minutes of just general bullshit. Before last time I watched Raw was 3 months ago.
yeah. Wrestling's not good right now. It's hard to watch. I mean, maybe AEW and NXT is not as bad, but
Yeah, if you're gonna watch anything, watch AEW and NXT. Don't watch Monday or Friday. Just watch on Wednesday. Wednesday's a good day for wrestling.
I'm even hearing Impact's doing good as well, though.
Yeah, but they're irrelevant. Like nobody watches them. They may be putting on better content, but nobody watches them still.
Well, the problem is they burned their credibility. I mean, they were number two for a long time until they just when Spike dropped them.
Another case of shooting yourself in the foot. Gee, didn't I say that about 20 times tonight?
I mean, once Spike notices, like, well, they're just staying the course. Nothing was the viewership wasn't going up or down until the very end when they're like people knew was they were going to leave. Then the viewership was tanking.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I bought a new gaming shirt the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, I'll show you it. So tell me what you think of this T-shirt.
Oh, fuck.
As soon as I can pull it up here. Okay, here we go. Pull up my stream again, Casey. You'll be able to see this in a moment.
I did get 2 games on the from Amazon on the same day I got canned. One just came in today, and one came in Friday or Thursday.
Okay, why this? I see what I gotta do. Let me delete this. Re-edit. Why is this showing YouTube? No, don't show YouTube. Oh, I know why. There we go. So I just bought this T-shirt the other day from. I don't know if you ever heard of a shirt of a place called Boscov's, a clothing store.
That sounds familiar.
But I bought this T-shirt from them. $14 at or $10 actually, from Boscov's.
Nice. I like Sonic.
They had a few other shirts, few other gaming shirts. They had a PlayStation shirt that had all of the button symbols on it, but it was all white. So I was like, meh.
Yeah, I don't like white.
I like white T-shirts only in the summertime, but I ruin them and they get stained way too easily.
Exactly.
They had a black Xbox T-shirt with a Xbox controller and a green design behind the controller that looked really nice.
Interesting.
But I don't like wearing black in the summer because of the heat.
Yeah, but
they had a different Sonic T-shirt. Let me see if I could pull up the other.
I mostly wear black all the time, but like you said with white, I'm like the last white shirt I really got is 2 CM Punk shirts, and I'm afraid to wear them to thanks TSS. But I'm afraid to wear these 2 CM Punk shirts just to get stains because especially if I'm going to eat something.
Yeah. That's why I try to be careful with most of my clothes. I'm trying to find the Sonic T-shirt I got for Christmas last year. I don't see it.
Well, the 2 games I picked up that I got in the mail from Amazon, there's a PS4 VR game.
Right.
It's called one's called Moss.
Yeah,
I tried the demo. It's a really good game.
Right.
That just came in, and another one is a Penn and Teller game.
Oh, I think I've heard of that one, the Penn and Teller game.
Yeah. I think it's some kind of, it's kind of like, you ever heard about the Sega CD game that never made came out, but
yeah,
the ROM
Desert Bus.
Yeah. It was that's one of the games. There's other games that was with that as well. That's a mini game inside a game from them. So
J Moon says he needs a more colorful wardrobe. He says his wardrobe looks like it's built for a funeral.
Mine
Ironically, you should mention a funeral because I was just at one on Saturday.
What was funny was when my wife passed, and one of the guys I used to work with, and they came to the funeral, and I went to talk with them afterwards, a week or so after, and they're like, Casey, it looked like the mafia was at the funeral. I'm like, yeah, it pretty much does look like that, doesn't it? Because it's all these New Yorkers and all these Italian people. I'm like,
I was gonna say, what were they, Italian?
Oh yeah, Italian and Jewish people mixed. So I mean, honestly, it didn't look too far from the truth, quite frankly.
I
I
hope we
mean,
didn't bore Jersey guy. He was only on for a couple of minutes. He never came
oh
back.
no, he said he had to do something.
Well, he's more than welcome to try to come on again next time.
Yeah,
Maybe later. Maybe we do another one later
yeah, I
this
was.
week or early next week. I don't know. Depending on news. I don't know
Mm,
if we do another one this week, but maybe early next week.
yeah, it
Depending on things.
depends. I mean,
It's all
like,
right, J Moon. It's cool, man. I've already gotten my grieving pretty much out of the way. I talked to Casey. I was telling Casey about it last night.
uh,
TSS, thanks for follow. Thanks for the follow. I got to get these alerts working. I appreciate the follow though. Yeah,
uh,
man. So I was going to ask you how the job hunt went today. I saw you said on Twitter you think you're doing all right.
yeah, it went pretty good. Couple places that I went to, like one, when they wouldn't let me in, well, because the pandemic, I was like, that's understandable. I just hand them a resume and like, yeah, we're interested. We'll give you an email of an application. I might have to go back because I didn't get it.
Right.
And also another company that my former job now that used to take me to the site and work at,
Right.
and they kind of I think they wanted me to switch to them, but I was loyal and like even though they were offering a couple bucks more, but I'm like I don't want to feel like I'm jumping from a company that gave me my uh first shot since coming back to Oklahoma. So but
Well,
I
they fired you now, so fuck them.
yeah, well, left my I went in, went through their. I didn't want to go through their shop, but no one was answering the door, so I went through their shop real quick. Dropped my resume off to someone's desk. I was at another shop trying to drop my resume, but when I came back to my phone, I got a call, and he's gonna give me a call from HR, and then I also got a job interview tomorrow, so I'm pretty confident, especially since I've been down here for a few years. Uh, Now I know places I can go.
Yeah.
Unlikely unlike when I first moved back, I really didn't know where to go.
Right.
But
Well, well. I hope everything works out for you. Um,
I'm I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna get something soon.
yeah. I'm hoping everything goes well for my mom too. After
Mm,
the way she got shit canned, which was really fucking bad. But that's neither here nor there. Something I'm not gonna get into.
yeah.
But I'm gonna give Joe Cronin a cheap plug here. Jay Moon, if you're interested in wrestling at all, or even if you don't watch it, and you just want to stay in the loop with professional wrestling, you should check
Mm.
out Joe Cronin show on YouTube. He does reviews. He does reviews of the shows, so you don't have to watch
So
them.
yeah, have uh make sure if you like off taste jokes. Like
Oh yeah. He's very Howard Stern like
yeah,
how Howard Stern was back in the '90s, and yeah, he does a lot of that shit. He's a
yeah.
pretty
So
cool guy though.
oh I love Joe.
Yeah,
Uh
if you're remotely interested in wrestling and you at least want to keep up with it without having to watch the trash, give him a look. You might find something interesting.
so
But
yeah,
he'll be doing a review. He does a review after every Raw, after every AEW. Sometimes he
smack.
combines NXT with his AEW review. He does them after every pay per view, after every AEW pay per view. Sometimes he does SmackDown. Sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah,
And
sometimes he doesn't, but sometimes he ties SmackDown leading into monetize this.
Yeah, sometimes he does. And throughout the week too, he'll do other non-wrestling related content, which you may or may not be into. So he's worth checking out. Check him out, Joe Cronin Show. There's your cheap plug, you bastard. Anyways,
Indeed.
man, I'm gonna wrap this up. We're going on 2 hours 35 minutes. I'm gonna go
And
get something to eat and watch Monday Night Awful.
I think we gotta give Drew a plug too.
Well, I
About
did earlier. I mentioned.
Oh,
I mentioned it earlier.
oh,
When I mentioned Frank, when I said I'm gonna pretend I'm Frank for a few minutes, and I said he was,
oh,
Frank's another co-host, and I said Frank from the Harsh Truth. I said also co-host of the Derailed podcast every Sunday night 9 p.m.
okay.
So there you go. Well, now I said it twice. You should thank Casey for that, Drew. I know he's in love with your mom. Anyways,
His
yeah,
mom
that,
was.
that show was wild last night. From the last half of Derailed last night was wild. Look up
Oh,
Derailed News and Podcasts on Twitter, or not on Twitter. Well, look them up on Twitter too. Look them up on YouTube. Derailed Podcasts is pretty fucking great.
Look at CSS just said.
Last night was interesting. Let's give a shout out to Drew's mom for the best moment of Derailed this year.
She said was.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I was saying, man, the second half of that show sure got interesting. Oh, man, that was fucking hilarious.
To me, it's gotta been a work, but
I honestly don't give a fuck. It was cringe. It was cringe and it was gold at the same time.
Well, I don't care if it's a work or not, but I'm just saying it was still gold. Like I told.
As I said, it was funny, but at the same time, it was cringe as fuck. It was still fun.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, we're gonna call it a night here. I gotta get something to eat. My stomach's telling me to eat something right now. So for Casey is Raw, my name is The Rose, and until next time, thanks for watching, everybody. And until next time, so long, everybody.
Salute.